It's a bathroom locker room. And what that is, that students could have the option to go in any bathroom that they wanted to at any time.
So that would apply in a PE class, right? Do your students have to change for PE?
I teach K through 5, so we don't change in locker rooms. But however, there are the students still use the restroom. So
yes, of course, yeah. So they would be able to use the restroom that they identify with. That's the rule at 8035. Okay, so you speak out against this at this school board meeting, and after that, you have been placed on leave. The way that it's being talked about in the press, the principal of your school is not giving any indication as to why you were placed on leave, but it kind of seems clear to the rest of us that they didn't like what you had to say. What did the school tell you?
I'm so glad that you brought that up, Vince, because I just wanted to clear something. My principal had nothing to do with this. My school administration, this came from the HR department from Loudoun County Public Schools. I just wanted to clear his name. But I'm sorry, can you go back to that original question?
Well, the question is, what were you told? Why were you placed on leave?
I was told that I was disruptive to Leesburg Elementary School. And I went to school. The funny thing about that, Vince, is on Tuesday night, I spoke at the school board meeting, came in, worked a full day. We had such a great time. We played t-ball. There was no disruptions. I didn't see anything. Went home that night and got a call from the HR department to come talk to them on Thursday morning and to say that I was disruptive, or that's the reason for my administrative leave.
And how long are you on leave for?
We don't know that. Well, when I left the meeting, HR said that we want to solve this or resolve this as quick as possible, but that is not my feeling at all.
Now, what rule did you run afoul that they had to place you on leave?
We don't know. The only thing that we know was in the letter that they gave me. When they asked me, as soon as I came in, they said the reason that you're on administrative leave. And I asked immediately, why am I on administrative leave? And they shoved a manila folder over to me, and I opened it up, and they said it's in the letter. In the letter, it says that pending investigation allegations that you engaged in conduct that has had a disruptive impact on the operations of Leesburg Elementary School. And it still doesn't explain how I was disruptive or what was disruptive. It feels just like my rights have been violated for speaking out.
Are teachers not allowed to express themselves at school board meetings? Is this one of the rules in Loudoun County?
That is not a rule in Loudoun County. We are allowed to speak freely. We have First Amendment rights.
Yeah, I would think so. Tyson Langhofer is obviously waiting in the wings here with Alliance Defending Freedom. Tyson, what legal peril is Loudoun County in, if any?
Well, the First Amendment is clear that teachers don't give up their constitutional rights simply because they become a teacher. I mean, the Supreme Court has held that teachers and students don't shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gates. Educators are just like everybody else. They have political opinions. And advocating for causes they believe in on their personal time should not cost them their jobs. That's First Amendment retaliation. And the Supreme Court has made clear that the government cannot retaliate against their school employees simply for engaging in a conversation on matters of important public concern.
Tanner Cross, are you a taxpayer in Loudoun County?
I am, sir.
Okay, so you have just as much of a right as anybody to go into that school board meeting and express your opinion about how you'd like to see the resources that you give from your paycheck to that school board used.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you go in there and you express this opinion. I made a point of emphasis earlier in the show that when you spoke about this, just again, I'm going to play the beginning of what you had to say because I think it's instructive. This is not a bad faith argument you're making. In fact, you said this.
My name is Tanner Cross, and I'm speaking out of love for those who suffer with gender dysphoria.
Okay, so right at the beginning, you said, look, I'm not trying to antagonize anybody. I'm not speaking out against anybody with gender dysphoria. I just think that lying to students is not the role of a teacher. And then you were placed on leave for that. As of right now, is anyone in the system supporting you? Have you heard even quietly from other teachers who think that you've been wronged?
I have. Local teachers have reached out to me and expressed the same views that I have, and they're praying for me. People from all over the country have been very supportive and sent emails. Lots of love from my family my students' families have definitely, they've emailed me and emailed the administration buildings and my administrators in support of me.
What's going to happen? Do you fear that this might get worse for you?
Vince, I don't think that it's going anywhere. And I think Tyson can also speak on that because we just recently got some news. But I don't foresee that. I expressed how I felt in the most loving way possible, and it's just not good enough, and it just feels it's not acceptable. And I don't know. I wrote to the school board multiple times, pleading with them just to sit down and have conversations, and let's just try to understand each other. And I never heard anything back from them.
Tyson Langhofer is also here, who's acting as an attorney for Tanner with Alliance Defending Freedom. Tyson, tell us what your activities have been this week, and I understand you have some news to share with us.
Yeah, well, when we heard about the problem Tanner encountered, we chatted with Tanner and we sent a letter to the school board today, and we said, look, you can't suspend and punish teachers simply for speaking out on a matter of public concern. That's a violation of their First Amendment rights. And we received an email just shortly, a little bit ago, and Loudoun County responded that they will not reinstate Tanner immediately, and that they believe that they apparently believe they were justified in placing him on paid leave. We obviously disagree because the First Amendment is very clear. The freedom of speech includes the freedom not to speak messages we disagree with. The school board cannot require teachers to endorse something they don't believe. And many teachers and parents, just like Tanner, are rightly concerned about these policies, 80-40, 80-35. And it's going to require many people to violate their beliefs, and it's also going to harm students. So that Loudoun County is wrong to be punishing teachers who are simply expressing concern about these policies, which are still being considered. He spoke at a public meeting.
Yes, he did.
Invited public comment.
Yes, he did. So when the letter says he will not be reinstated immediately, so that leaves Tanner Cross in a position of being, we use the term indefinitely suspended because there is no definite end to this, is there?
There is not.
Okay, so now Tanner Cross on paid leave, other teachers, I guess, filling in, Tanner, for your work while you're out. What's the next step? How can you get your job back? How can you get back inside the classroom?
That's a good question, Vince. We're just pleading. I'm pleading for my job back, and I want to be back with my kids. My students love me. I love my students. I love my job. I decided a long time ago to invest everything that I was blessed with and give it back to the community. And I lost my community, my family. So I guess we'll have to fight the right way through legality and just pray about it.
Do you regret speaking up this week, given the consequences?
Absolutely not. Again, I love my students. I love all of my students, regardless of their backgrounds, but I will not lie to them.
Yeah, you won't lie to them. Good for you. I mean, I thought that was the purpose of being a teacher, is to tell the truth to the students. All right, so you're left. Man, I hate that you're in a holding pattern here. And so you expressed a moment ago that you want to make sure people don't think wrongly that the principal was the one who led to you being placed on leave. Instead, it was HR at the county level, is what you said.
Yes. Correct.
Do you have support from the administration within your own school? Has the principal expressed support, and is anybody fighting for you?
The principal at our school has voiced that he supports all of his students and staff. He serves an entire community, and that means everybody. So everybody has the right to speak.
Will you be speaking at the next school board meeting?
I believe so. I guess I'll talk to Tyson and we'll hash out a plan, but I'm not going to be quiet if that's what you mean. And I think that, educators are just like everybody else. They have political opinions. Advocating for causes they believe in. Their personal time should not cost them their jobs.
No, not at all. How do we up the ante, Tyson Langhofer? Is there a lawsuit on the way?
Well, I mean, obviously, we just got this response from the school board. So Tanner and I need to talk, and we need to assess. But the fact is that this is a clear violation of Tanner's rights, and I think, frankly, the board is trying to send a message to teachers throughout Loudoun County that if you speak out, there's going to be consequences. And I think that's wrong. That's the wrong message they should be sending. These are important policies that need to be, that everybody in the community, teachers and parents and students, need to be able to speak out about. And the government shouldn't be punishing people simply for expressing their opinion, especially in a loving way like Tanner did in a public forum. Tanner's a great teacher, and they should be proud to have him there at Loudoun County.
Is there a way that people can support Tanner Cross this afternoon?
You know, I think one way they can support Tanner is to speak out, to continue to speak out, and don't be cowed by the cancel culture and by others that are trying to cancel people that have very valid concerns about very bad policies that are being put forward. And so the way you can support Tanner is support his right to speak, and speak up yourself, and don't be cowed by the cancel culture.
Tanner Cross, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for this first interview on this subject. We really appreciate it, and we here at WMAL are going to be following your story very closely. Thank you, Tanner.
Thank you, Vince, for having us on.
Tyson, thank you as well. Always good to talk to you.
Thanks, Ben.